Team in Calgary. The call from Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Suter. Enjoy.
2 strike, backside 7 rub. On Monday, ready?
Calgary first and 10 from the Stampeders 35.
Monday. Yo! 180. Wally Hunt.
Stamp start at the 35. And the first pass is caught. And out of bounds, Eric Rogers has 6.
Back in the lineup, Eric Rogers. Play that inside receiver spot.
Ace right. W fling. 31 plunge, force bear, S bluff, D snag. On Monday, ready? Yep.
Second down.
Time to turn alert.
Yo! 180. Wally Hunt.
2nd and 4 hit.
Oh, yeah.
Fake to Don Jackson, and it's Marco Michelle the catch. And a first down up beyond the 50-yard line. Nice play action fake inside.
Don Jackson has earned that reputation quickly. If you're going to fake it to him, it's going to draw the attention of defenders, and that's exactly what happens here. A little play action to Jackson.
Right, tough. D tornado.
Market Michelle
W sub.
missed 3 games. He's back in the lineup.
Monday. Go. Black 80. Black and Hunt.
This time it's Jackson. Trying to kick it outside. Cuts back across midfield into Alouette territory at the 50. A 7-yard pickup for the number 2 rusher in the Canadian Football League.
3rd start for veteran John Bowman. He has back in the Saskatchewan game. There's a guy who leads the team in tackles, 30 for Chris Aki.
On Monday, ready?
Former Calgary Stampeder Tommy Campbell would love to get his first pick of the 2018 campaign against his own team. His old team.
2nd and 3. Fake to Jackson. Over the middle. Toss! And Rogers has got it. Inside the 15. A money throw by Levi Mitchell.
Money because it's inside of glass, but right down the middle to where Joe Burnett, the safety, can't really turn and help. Burnett's not looking at the football. He's just mesmerized by the route run there by Eric Rogers.
52 hot, T-Bass, R-Crack, backside hit, screen to X. On Monday, ready? Let's go.
I'd like to welcome viewers across the country who are watching MLS. Just underway, first possession, Calgary threatening on Jackson. Inside the 10, and he got hit hard. Drilled by the veteran, Chip Cox. Playing in his 215th career game tonight.
Flash to left, tough. 173 strike.
Backside official on that.
On Monday, ready?
They're seeing us in man coverage, and they're trying to pick our backer and throw the swing route.
Monday, go.
4 for Jackson, 2nd and 6. Line pop, touchdown. Eric Rogers, 3rd catch of the drive.
Well, for Calgary, this is their starting receiving core. This is the one that Dave Dickinson wanted from the beginning of the year. This is the one coming out of camp that looked just so tough to defend against. The starters are back, including Eric Rogers, and very important in that first drive.
6 plays, 75-yard touchdown drive.
Wall, backside bandit pump. On Monday, ready? Hey, KJ, cover 0, need stick.
And Bo 5 for 5. 68 yards out of the gate.
Wally Hunt.
Going for 2, 2nd read. And it's caught. Kamar Jordan, 88, makes it 8-1. Trying to go 5-0 for the first time since '95. And the Stamps look sharp on their opening drive of the night.
Daughter's here. First time ever watching me play. Her birthday today. She just turned 4. Kalina Court Rogers, I love you. We got another one October. I'm a family man. What can I say?
She saw a lot in that opening drive. 3 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown. Newcomer DeMornay Pearsonell replacing the injured Stefan Logan is back. And here's our first look at the former Nebraska star. Drew Willie back after missing a week, injured against Saskatchewan.
Here we go.
4th game start of the year.
Good job, Renee. Good job.
Here we go, fellas. Let's get it done here. Here we go.
Okay,
Here we go. Turtle to Bo's right.
Stay in a zig, just like that snag.
Red Jack, Seal Charlie on red. Ready? P.
Stay patient, guys, and focus. Patient and focus. Go with it.
Go! Blue 80, son!
Robin setting up at the tight end spot. Handoff off the right side to Tyrell Sutton.
Want to keep Tyrell Sutton involved as much as possible.
Are you on with me?
There's a replacement for Chris Williams.
I'm just wondering what he saw, what he liked.
Chris Harper.
Ranger.
The wideout spot.
Here we go. Weak left. Squeeze. Weak left squeeze. Nudge. Black Jet. Outlaw Muck Candy on black. Ready?
Couple of young tackles. There's Tyler Jetstone making his CFL debut.
Go! Look at it! Black is on!
Second and 7.
Yeah, he has
Gets it to Sutton, and he
What's the down and distance?
scrambles close to the first down. Here, Dave Dickinson wanting to know distance. Looks like about a yard short.
There for me, babe.
Got a pretty generous spot. I think they might move the chains
They
here.
are. It is a first down.
Here we go. Let's go. Get Noddle. Here we go. Empty right. Red Scat. Connie Meir on red. Ready? Steady. You're my hot. Gino hot.
Thurman the tackle, but Sutton gets the initial first down for the Alouettes. 6 receivers out. And downfield. Jackson unable to bring it down. There is Jamar Wall in coverage, back in the lineup for Calgary.
Troy Studemeyer was replacing him. He is out. Jamar Wall back, missed 3 games. There's Big Micah Johnson up front, 4 sacks, 2nd in the CFL coming into this week. There's Wall in the linebacking core. Adam Berger starts at safety. Trey Robertson with an interception last week.
10, flag down, and they don't get the play off.
Offside, Montreal number 87. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Like Drew Willie was favoring his hand there. That deep corner route to Ernest Jackson.
Red right, red
like
jet.
He followed through and maybe hit helmet of his own.
Ready?
Christian Matt.
In my hottie.
And the penalty makes it 2nd and 15. Sutton releases. Sutton the target. And Sutton swarmed around the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down.
This #1 ranked defense in Calgary will
probably the 10-yard line, Tare.
take that every single time.
Yep.
Allowing just 9.5 yard points per game. 9.5 points per game.
Hey, that's a hell of a job up front.
Amazing start to the season for this
Hell of a
defense.
job up front. Hell of a job. Good job.
Ball bouncing in front of Williams, bouncing back. And that'll be a
Give me base.
5-yard,
Hey,
no
use your
yards
canes
penalty
now.
after
Base.
a 42-yard punt.
Good job, Bo.
Old Levi Mitchell, no ill effects of the knee issue. 8-1 Calgary. Well, this was the scene on July 12th. A scare for the Stampeders. Danny Mason low on to Bo Levi Mitchell, who left the game And his status for this one was up in the air midweek.
Really didn't take any of the first reps until the last day of the work week, and then got the nod from both the medical staff, Dave Dickinson, and Bo said he felt good to go.
And off inside, Jackson not going anywhere. Chip Cox there to make a quick stop. Sets up a 2nd and long. Bo 4-2 in his career. We've got an injured Alouette. And that is Jabbar Westerman shaken up, defensive tackle. Well, there was some speculation about Bo's status for this week. We asked the head coach about the decision to go with him.
If your starter's healthy enough to play, we're playing him. It's professional football. Everyone's going to be sore and have some things that bother them. You just want to be smart about it, that you're not, you have some mobility and you feel like you can push off and be effective. Once that was established, he's good to go, then ultimately it was an easy decision.
It was an easier decision for Bo when the medical staff basically told him it was solid and it was stable. He couldn't hurt it anymore unless he got hit on it. Then he was good to go in his mind. He, again, didn't take the first team reps till late in the work week, but really doesn't need them.
Did allow Nick Arbuckle to take more reps this week. Larry Brim took some as well, but by Wednesday, Thursday, it became pretty clear that Dave Dickinson's #1 man was ready to go.
I went with 45.
By the way, if we do see Nick Arbuckle for any reason, and knock on wood that Bo stays healthy, but he is also mic'd. Backup quarterbacks are mic'd tonight as well.
On Monday, ready? Westerman Nydrickson and his elbow will be down at least 3 plays, maybe more.
No gain for Jackson, so it's 2nd and 10. 3-man front. And that pass wide side. He is caught. First down and a flag late. Mark and Michelle with the catch. And a roughing call against Calgary.
Was it Brad Erdos? I'm not sure. It looked like to me like 53 was cruising down there after the throw here.
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness. Calgary number 61. 15-yard penalty.
Stand
First down,
corrected on the
Calgary.
number. It was Ucambry Williams, the center, who was cruising downfield.
Penalty comes after the first down was gained.
Here we go.
13-yard pickup and a first down.
Backside 7 up.
Back up. Drew is up. Drew Willie.
51 Corona. That sounds like a play I'd like to be involved in.
Go. 180.
Call a few of those.
Wow.
That pass caught. Good start for Eric Rogers, and Bo Levi Mitchell's 8 for 8.
Well, good start with Eric Rogers in the offense. This is their touchdown drive out of the gate. First drive of the football game, and Eric Rogers a big part of it. That big deep run down the middle, 40-yard gain. He also capped it off with a touchdown. Bo with 1.5 legs went 5 for 5, 68 yards, and the 2-point convert to Kamar Jordan.
Good, baby. Don't worry. I'm playing hard.
So if you're Mike Sherman, how do you attack, go after Bo Levi Mitchell? Fastest quarterback in league history to 60 wins.
By the video official at the 39.5-yard line, 2nd down.
Hey, hog.
Well, they respotted. It'll be 2nd and short. And Nick Arbuckle comes in.
Mike Sherman asking for what type of coverages they're playing right now. He wants to start to get involved a little more in the defensive game plan as well, it sounds like.
Go! 180!
Arbuckle's got it, and then some.
Tell you what I might do. I mean, it's kind of pick your poison against this great Calgary team, especially with the receivers that are in the lineup tonight. But I might, with Bo Levi Mitchell with a brace on his leg, send the house more than they can block. Leave your back end, your DBs, in straight one-on-one with no safety in the middle. Take your chances there and go down swinging. That's really not Rich Stubler's philosophy. He's a bend, don't break, make him move it all the way down the field guy, but
Jackson again around the right side, up over the 50-yard line and close to another Calgary first down. Chip Cox involved. Brandon Dozier not in the Montreal lineup tonight.
But with this outstanding Calgary defense and what they're facing, guys like Chip Cox are going to have to try and strip the ball. They're going to have to do something like that to pull off the upset.
Second and 1, they don't have Arbuckle in, and the handoff inside going nowhere. Might have even been a loss here. Looks like it's going to be third down.
Oh, get lined up. Spencer, River.
Third and a full yard.
Red, go ahead.
And they hand it off to Morris Daniels. And he should have it.
Wow, just
Joe
barely
Burnett got a piece of him, but Daniels able to fall forward and get it up.
Tempo call there, River. The River runs through it. Morris Daniels just barely got there.
A couple of former Stamps, ex-Stamps involved. Burnett and Tommy Campbell.
On Monday, ready?
First and 10 Calgary.
Monday, go. 180.
First down, Hitch into the hands of Jordan across midfield. And he'll step out of bounds at the 44 on this Stamps offense, hitting on all cylinders.
I'll tell you one thing, the leg injury is not affecting the accuracy and the release for Bo Levi Mitchell.
On punch right, pistol, 36 ball, W Hobo. On Monday, ready?
He's 9 for 9 to start the game.
Monday, play the drive.
180, 180.
Jackson. Excuse me, Terry Williams into the game, and Williams with a burst down to the 35, and he has 9.
Play one for the Alouettes. Looks like
Ace right, X fly, 34 band Z sub. On Monday, ready? Let's go. Monday, go. 180.
Another second and short. And Williams got inside the 35. Be close.
Hey.
On the stop for the Owls, Jesse Joseph.
And it looks like it'll be third down. Here comes Arbuckle and the short yardage guys.
He's going to fight the dog there from the Montreal D line in these short yardage situations. 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1.
All right, we got W fly to Queen's left, 14 sneak, team flare, all slide on Monday. Ready?
Keep left. Sounds like he's going left side.
Go! 180! 180!
And Arbuckle has it in behind right guard Brad Erdos. Cambry Williams, the center. And the Stamps have owned the football here for almost 9 minutes already in this first quarter.
38.
Almost lost the handle of the football there, too, as he was going down.
Flex to X left, W close, Washington ride, ugly 34, zebra stuff. On Monday, ready?
Alouettes last in time of possession. Just under 27 minutes a game. And off Williams and brought down John Bowman. Crashed across. Didn't look like the cleanest handoff, and the veteran Bowman there.
Time down, I think. All right, Z slider, rebel right, R on, wide set, 63 dent, Wolf T swing, backside Z vertical. On Monday, ready? Hurry up.
2nd and 11. It's the 13th play of this possession.
Like 80. Cut.
Here comes the blitz, and Mitchell is dropped. Back at the 40-yard line, it's Jamal Westerman.
Well, they have great defensive ends, Montreal. That's certainly true. And Jamal Westerman makes the play right after John Bowman, the other bookend, made the play on the run down. And this time it's Westerman off the edge for his 3rd sack of the season.
Just the 5th sack for the Alouettes. And just the 5th against Calgary this year. They won't go for a 47-yard field goal. Maver, best in the league at pitting opponents. Looks for his 5th inside the 10. And he missed that one. And the Rouge will be conceded. 45-yard single after a lengthy drive, and it's 9-1 Stampeders. Final play of the opening quarter. Calgary had the ball for 10 minutes and 37 seconds. A touchdown from Eric Rogers and a 9-1 lead after 15 minutes. Time of possession dominated by Calgary. Score could have been more.
I don't think it's disrespectful to the Owls to say that they're heavy underdogs in this game. And I think if you stay within one possession and take the game as deep as you can, within one possession, you got a chance. So that was a big stop defensively to hold Calgary to a field goal attempt. I heard on the live mics, I'm not sure if the audience did, Dave Dickinson talking to his O-line after the first drive, saying, stay focused. Don't let the success of the first drive affect you.
Terrell Sutton trying to get outside, and Alex Singleton is there to make sure he didn't turn it upfield. Middle linebacker with his 23rd tackle of the year.
That's really, I would think, the concern for Dave Dickinson. If there's any tonight, it would be that he doesn't want his team to start to think they can mail it in from here on out.
Black jet drive, flat scissors, on black, right? Hey, Seattle!
Well, we talked about being better on 2nd down, but wanted to stay on it. 2nd and long, 2nd and 9. Into the flat it goes. Ernest Jackson the catch. Jameer Thurman was there, and it'll be well short. Not the first down.
Hey.
Number 1 against the run, number 1 against the pass, the Calgary defense. We mentioned the points allowed.
Right about there, T. Yeah, right there.
It's number 1 in just about every category.
Easier to mention the ones they're not number 1 in.
Forrest Beatty against the win. That hangs up. Williams at the 31. And he'll get game tackled
hey, let's start out in twins,
at the 40.
Twins. Hey, LDZ.
Let's go.
Okay,
Let's go. Can we see that? Can I have that?
Here we go. Move to take Bill right, wide on, 29 Beaver Bears.
Mitchell came out in the second quarter against Ottawa. 16 of 21 in that game, left with a 17-0 lead. Fake inside to Williams, and with speed, Tavares Daniels crashing into Alouette territory. A 20-yard pickup to the 49-yard line, and an injured Joe Burnett is still on the turf. The Alouette starting safety. So Burnett getting attention. Mike Sherman will have to make a defensive adjustment.
take a look at the injury on Joe Burnett. He's the guy who comes across from the safety spot to make the tackle on Tavares Daniels here, and his own leg gets folded underneath the body of Daniels. You see his leg gets caught underneath. They're looking at it and stabilizing it now before taking him off the field.
Head athletic therapist is Rodney Sassy. Of course, Tavares Daniels and many of those Stampeders out there, former teammates of Joe Burnett. And they have the leg brace and the cart out already, and indications are that this knee injury is serious. So they continue to work on Joe Burnett, and we'll step aside. Well, still concerned for Joe Burnett as they work on the injured knee.
Just unlucky in the timing of that, where Daniels was going down, and when Burnett made the tackle, he kind of twisted and his leg stuck in the turf, twisted that knee, and Mike Sherman all the way over. Just see how he turns, and then his leg gets stuck, and he twists himself over the top of that tackle, and that's when the knee buckled underneath it. Getting him now up onto the cart and taken off the field.
7-year vet, 3 years Edmonton, the last 3 with the Stampeders.
Trying to stabilize that entire leg before they can take him in and examine him. His old teammates there to they're stabilizing below the knee.
Yep, looks like it's the ankle perhaps that they were most concerned about.
That's when the frustration hits in. I mean, there's the initial pain of the injury that Joe Burnett was going through, and then he gets on the cart and thinks, you know, he knows the severity already probably, and frustration kicks in that gonna miss some time.
That's the pain that really you feel, isn't it?
Yeah, and you start to go through your head here we go with the hours and hours and days and months of possibly of rehab. Now, I'm not diagnosing that injury. I'm just
Calgary Stampede football. 1st and 10 from the Montreal.
So back to work for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Saturday, go!
10 of 10 to start the game. Don Jackson left side. Mwamba slowed him up, and Woody Barron there to wrestle him down.
Yeah, I talked to Mwamba before the game about playing against Don Jackson, and he said you always want to commit quickly to stopping the run. He said I got to be even quicker with Don Jackson. If I can make him stutter his feet in the hole, we've got a chance. If he gets to that 3rd or 4th yard on a downhill sort of run, it's goodbye. He's got so much speed.
2nd and 6. Mitchell to throw. Open target. Eric Rogers again. And he'll get swung out into the signage. 5th catch for Rogers. 16 that time, and another first down.
Well, you start to play some zone against Bo Levi Mitchell. He'll find the soft spot, and did there. That was a...
All right, Celtics right, W Tango, 31 backer, Fresca, W Arrow.
That was a hold coverage where the corner was deep and the halfback had to get to the flat and didn't get there on Rogers.
Fake to Jackson, seam right, come on, Jordan, touchdown! To pay dirt, and a long Down with it, Foley by Mitchell. Passes Doug Flutie on the all-time Stampeder passing list.
They got confused, huh? Well, 15's lost. Even right there, he was lost. Hey, two top back. It was pointing to him, trying to tell 15 to get out there.
As good as any quarterback in the league, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. The great recognition.
And Paredes, who hit his 300th convert after the first touchdown, has another. And the Stampeders are rolling, up 16-1 here, early second quarter.
Just mentioned that conversation I had with Enoch Mwamba saying against Don Jackson, he wanted to move quickly to try and catch him in the hole. So on that play action fake, he moves quickly into the hole and then opens up the throw right behind him to Kamar Jordan over the middle. So again, it's pick your poison. You want to stop Don Jackson quickly in the run game, but if they play action you, now you can't help out in the pass game.
Tell about Sister Rat, Whoopi Goldberg. Hey, shout out to Nick Lewis too.
Hey, wrap up tackle, D.
Big boot.
Come on, Richie Van.
And Pearsonell will bring it up.
Hey, let's tackle.
Go around the 20-yard line.
JD, let's get that flavor.
Well, we mentioned he's
Let's go, Cordero, let's go.
climbing the stat numbers and just went by Doug Flutie on the all-time Calgary list. Henry Burris is on the clock.
They're struggling. Let's stay with it.
I'm just guessing you pass Flutie. That's a pretty good thing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got Matt Schultz in the game, trying to get something going, and pass for B.J. Cunningham is incomplete, so Drew Willie has been lifted. Matthew Schultz, who sounded like he was going to be the #1 guy out of camp, but then got hurt in the preseason. This is the first time he's been in uniform.
Red houseboat, #star, red, ready?
Hey, back to Market and Brest.
Gonna look at that. I wonder about the hand of Drew Willie, if it was starting to bother him to a point where had to make the change.
Schultz in 4 games last year, 2nd and 10. Over the middle, that's a solid connection. And B.J. Cunningham has a first down for the Alouettes.
The only thing I like about it is that they're back in the run like,
Hey, black scat, toast. Black scat, toast. Alouettes!
Well, first down, here comes Wall on the blitz, and he gets home. Jamar Wall has his 2nd sack as he tracks down Matthew Schultz.
Yeah, Matthew Schultz is a young guy, so he's going to learn as time goes on, but he's going to get the blitz from the bottom of your screen here from Jamar Wall, and he's okay to run away from that blitz, but once he knows that he can't get it out of there, throw it out of bounds.
Mark Seattle, red, ready?
7-year veteran Jamar Wall playing in his 99th game. 2nd and a bunch.
Look out.
In and out of the hands of Emmanuel Davis, who thought he had a pick 6.
Matthew Schultz started running to try and make the tackle just about the moment he let go of this ball. Watch, he gets it out of there. He sees what's happening here and how it's developing, and he gets on his horse thinking he's going to have to track down Emmanuel Davis. And
you want to go brick olive, you want to go Spurrier? It's basically.
Yeah, I didn't see him squat.
Davis doing push-ups.
get those done.
3 career pick 6s. Terry Williams outside the numbers, and he is leveled at the 41. That's William Standback, who's been impressive on the team for Montreal this year. Well, Emmanuel Davis just missed the interception just missed what would have been a pick six. So it's push-up time on the Calgary bench. One of the CFL greats announces his retirement as a Calgary Stampeder, #1 in all-time catches, #5 in receiving yards, and 10 1,000-yard seasons. Nick Lewis standing by with Jermaine Franklin.
That's right, CC, the incomparable Nick Lewis. 14 seasons in the CFL, 11 right here with the Stamps, 3 with the Owls. But what does it mean to you, Nick, to come back to Calgary and retire a Stamp?
Means a lot. You know, I put in a lot of work here. Just to see the crowd, to be at the tailgate party before the game, and just to interact with everyone, man, it's amazing.
You mentioned the work that you put in. This organization was not the greatest when you first arrived, but you were one of the cornerstones to rebuild this organization, and they're still a perennial contender today. What does that mean to you? Do you take a lot of pride in that?
Oh, of course. You know, you only have one thing, and that's what you build. Corn dog, come on. And that's what you build, and I mean, we helped build this to the standard it is today, to go out and compete and expect to win every game.
You won a championship with John Cornish. Talk a little bit about your favorite moments as a Stampede.
I mean, those championship moments are special, but there's so many times in the locker room, on a trip, funny stories and everything that you just remember. And it's awesome to be able to share today with the people here in Calgary. It looks like they're going to get a win, so that's good too.
Thanks for this, Nick. Surefire Hall of Famer.
Hey, Brandon Rutley, Steph Logan, y'all get healthy, man. Got to get back on that field.
Where else would Nick Lewis go out than in the heart of Nick Lewis Nation?
I'm trying to give you some love, man.
Yeah,
come
absolutely.
over here. We're going to do
two great players right there. John Cornish, Nick Lewis. Nick Lewis, you know, we had Andy Fantuz in the booth, and I thought he was the best receiver I've seen in time and space, knowing where to be and when to be there. Nick Lewis is the most physical receiver I've seen in football.
Procedure, Calgary, number 33. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
The procedure call against rookie Eric Metzalira.
Even when he was a lot slimmer early in his career.
He was slimmer?
Now it's different. He's allowed to do that now. But I mean, he played at 230, 235 for the last maybe 5 to 8 years of his career, and he was still so productive at that weight. But even when he was lighter than that, he was aggressive. He loved to block. He was the hammer, not the nail.
Neighbors punt. And it's Pearsonell drilled down at the 40-yard line.
Well, let's take a look.
There is video evidence of him a lot slimmer when Matt Dunnigan found him.
Yeah, here you go. I mean, Danny Barrett giving him a quick throw. Now take a look at that, Nick Lewis. It's a little bit slimmer. He wanted to hit so much he'd go hit the goalpost.
We were all a little leaner 14, 15 years ago.
Oh, no question. But hey, again, you know, I don't think in either league I've seen a more physical receiver than Nick Lewis.
Second series for Schultz. Inside Sutton. And while we were talking to Nick Lewis, I thought worthy of the point, we saw a sack by John Bowman, who didn't want to celebrate the sack because he knows what the score is right now.
Here we go. We got spread left. Q red blood. Henry Clay. Red, ready? Yeah, Henry Clay. Go! Ready?
13 different quarterback post Anthony Calvillo. Schultz on second down. Flushed. And the pass caught right at the first down stick. That's the newcomer Chris Harper, second game replacing Chris Williams.
You know what I like about what I'm hearing from Matthew Schultz on the live mics is his sense of urgency calling the plays.
How was it out there?
He's in there taking command of the huddle. It sounds like.
Here we go. We got 2 right. P black, F Jill. Black, ready? Same thing. Yeah.
I like a sense of urgency in there. Black, X Jill, let's go.
Go! Blackie!
About sudden, a little stutter step, gets to the 54.
It's so important, Chris. I mean, it's body language. It's a young quarterback trying to establish himself, trying to earn the respect of the huddle and of his teammates.
Here we go. We got 2 quads left. Tight. Q Red Rock, D Omaha. Red, ready? Go!
Looking for only their 4th first down of the night. Here comes the house. They're going to throw deep for Harper, who got held up a little bit. The pass is incomplete.
Ruben, if he can catch it, go!
Well, Matthew Schultz did all the right things. He made the right read. He made the right decision. He threw it to the right place. He just wasn't on the same page as his new receiver, Chris Harper. He's telling him it's 0 coverage. The safety came up, he came on the blitz. The middle was open, 0 coverage. You got to go right to the middle, to the hole. Don't keep on your post back.
I think 4 to the field.
Okay, don't block the high down.
Flores beating to punt it away. Terry Williams stands at the Calgary 10. The winds died down here and the sun come out. Although that's not a long kick, just 32 yards. Flags are drooping, but must have hung up in the breeze.
Let me show you that play because Chris Harper they're trying to make the adjustment. You're going to see safety blitz come here, so that means you throw right to the hole right here. So Harper, who's the receiver's got to go to that spot, and he went across it, and they missed a big chance for a big play here. Go right to the hole.
All the balls
and the quarterback will lead you there. Right in the middle of the field.
It's 10-yard penalty. First
so
down.
They're straightening that out, and he said, hey, when you see safety come up and blitz, and that's great recognition for a young quarterback.
Check that, Calgary number 33.
Yep, go get it. All right, go get it. Yeah, they're just inverted. You go get it. Okay.
The great Jason Tucker working with those receivers.
Right here. Set it right in front of him now. Michael break out. Oh, yeah.
Peters called on an illegal block that brings the ball back inside the 15.
On Monday, ready?
But they lead by 15, and their quarterback 12 for 12 on the night.
Monday. Go, 180.
And he's going to look downfield. The flag comes down. Eric Rogers grabbed on the play as Greg Dupree, the newcomer at defensive halfback, got a hand on the intended target.
Pass interference, Montreal number 26. Automatic first down at the spot.
Yeah, Greg Dupree, illegal contact that turns into pass interference because the ball's thrown to him. It's the double move down the sideline, and Dupree is going to make contact well past 5 yards on the second move right there. So that's illegal contact, but the ball is on its way to Rogers, so it is upgraded to pass interference.
Dominic Ellis in at safety for the injured Joe Burnett. Don Jackson. And there was Ellis on the scene, helping out on the tackle.
Now, if you're looking for positives for Montreal, here's a couple. John Bowman and Jamal Westerman have got some pressure and some hits on Bo Levi Mitchell. That doesn't usually happen to Mitchell. His team ranked first, Calgary, in sacks allowed. The other is they've contained so far Don Jackson.
Look for hot over there in the field. JJ. Monday, go. Come on now. 180.
Taking it off. 3-man rush. 9 drop. And there's the first incompletion of the game.
2 in a row. Good job, D.
Going back to the last game, Mitchell had hit on 17 consecutive until this incompletion.
Yeah, I like what Greg Dupree did. He comes up and he challenges Eric Rogers here, making it a tough catch and throw and catch for Rogers. A little bit high on it, but Dupree comes up and challenges it, makes Bo Levi Mitchell put it in a spot that Eric Rogers can't get to.
Pressure, and Beaver gets it off. Here's Snell. 6 on the return to the 34.
On July 26th, the Owls will host the Edmonton Eskimos. Feature the halftime loud. Tickets, MontrealAlouettes.com.
Matthew Schultz back and quarterback. Willie did go to the room. And the hand checked out. Back on the Alouette bench as Schultz operates the controls. Tyrell Sutton, nothing doing. That's Adam Berger in at safety for the injured Tunde Adeleke, stepping up and filling the hole.
Got to get over the top, right? Mike Sherman can look at the iPad at halftime and see that Calgary's moved Adam Berger up a few times now.
Right foe, slide, black jet, Winston, black, ready?
Going to move the safety out of the middle a bunch. They're going to attack the middle.
Black 80! Black 80!
Around in the pocket, but can't get away. Dragged down by Gene Fodders. And a flag down on the play. And it's going against Calgary.
What?
BJ Cunningham.
Illegal contact on a receiver, Calgary number 31. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's first down.
With the call against the rookie corner Trey Roberson as we hit the 3-minute warning. Alouettes trying to close this 15-point deficit.
Go! Black 80!
So after the penalty, a first down for the Alouettes. Schultz throws back, and Sutton's got a block. And Sutton's got a first down into Calgary territory. Derek Wigan drags him down, but it's a 15-yard gain and a Alouette first down.
Love the play. Watch BJ Cunningham come out this way, and then Terrell Sutton go and set up for the screen the opposite direction. Couple of options there for Schultz. He decides to go backside and drops it off to Sutton. Well executed play offensively.
Montreal at the Calgary 49er. Mix up in the backfield. Flag comes down, and Schultz is dropped just beyond the line of scrimmage. He turned one way, and stand back wasn't there.
Holding. Montreal number 69. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Now just take a look at how good this Devon Claybrook's defense is. There's the points allowed we talked about. Those are all first in the Canadian Football League. Under 200 yards passing per game. Under 250 in net offense. And oh, by the way, Matthew Schultz, you're in one of your first games against the best defense in the league.
How much Claybrook could do about the point on the board and came on the opening kickoff. First down over, and he got drilled but got it away, and it's caught. Lewis over the shoulder, and he has the biggest play of the game for the Alouettes. And how about the gumption of Matthew Schultz?
Spread left! Spread left! Hey, Black Jack! Oh!
Take a look, they're trying to get to it.
Black Jack! Oh, circus!
Lewis wanted them to, and now the challenge, and that's not going to be the biggest play of the night. Son Lewis wanted to get the guys up to the line of scrimmage, knowing he did not make the catch. And now the challenge, and the fans here seeing it on the scoreboard.
Calgary's challenging the last play of an incomplete pass, of a completed pass. We'll review the play.
Yeah, Montreal's already heading back to the original line of scrimmage, and unfortunately for Dave Dickinson, he had to use his challenge on something that this This is a case where the video official could have helped the on-field official. I'm surprised that was missed, and because that's the argument against just one challenge, is that now Dave Dickinson doesn't have one the rest of the game, had to use it on what was pretty open.
And you can hear Dave muttering about that he had to use the challenge, and now it's gone.
And then just said
should be pass interference.
Oh, there's the other side of it.
You got to remember, like you said, if you can keep your leg.
Mike Sherman.
Hey, Rodney.
Thinks there should be pass interference here.
He grabbed the arm that made it impossible for him to put his hands around that ball. Well, they will look at that, right?
That has to come from you for offense or for defense pass interference.
But if they're redoing a play right now.
That's a coach challengeable part, so that you have to challenge that, throw your challenge flag for DPI. You have to challenge?
So we're challenging that.
There's Rob Hill, the down judge, explaining to Mike Sherman. And Rob knows his rules in game number 201 of his career.
Absolutely, just past the 200 mark. I've read a couple of articles that said he was from
review. The ruling on the field is overturned. It's an incomplete pass.
Now will Mike Sherman challenge to see pass interference? He is. So both coaches are going to burn their challenges on this single play, because now Mike Sherman is going to ask for them to review it to check for defensive pass interference.
Saying like he grabbed the arm, wouldn't let him pitch the ball.
Eugene Lewis could not reach for the ball
on the last play. The play will be reviewed.
So quite the exchange there.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but fortunate to hear the two coaches on both sides of it.
Well, let's start with there's the receiver. There's Eugene Lewis, and he's just heading straight down the hash marks. One-on-one on Emmanuel Davis. Like he grabbed the left arm. That's in slow motion.
Let's give you a better look. And as that grab of the arm,
Mike Sherman's argument here is that the one arm, the left arm, was being held down by Davis, and that's the reason he had to reach with just one hand. The question is that going to be ruled arm fighting, or is that going to be ruled an actual grasp and holding the arm down?
Yes, another good question, though, because last year when we had more of these challenges, every aspect of the play was reviewed.
Well,
so if it was, then they've already determined it's not pass interference.
Well, no, not necessarily. Not necessarily, because they have to. Pass interference has to be challenged. They're not going to call the penalty.
But last year it used to be the entire play was under review, and you could have a penalty away from the actual challenge. So maybe that's been changed.
They can't call the penalty unless it was challenged, because it wasn't called on the field. So Mike Sherman had to burn his challenge to get that PI call, if in fact he gets it, which it looked like he may. I mean, that he makes a good argument that Lewis could only get one hand.
Pass interference, Calgary number 18. First down, Montreal.
It is number 8, but I'm not sure we've ever seen that. Both coaches won their challenge, but now they're all gone.
That sucks.
Lewis had the biggest play for Montreal in their last game against Ottawa, 65-yard reception, and here interfered with, and it sets up 1st and 10 at the 18. His second of the year, and that will snuff the Montreal threat.
I can tell you, Chris, as a former DB, when you played against a young quarterback, you trusted one thing. You trusted that he was going to look down his receiver, that they're just not developed and comfortable enough to look off, and Schultz is going to look down his target here and he is looking straight at B.J. Cunningham the entire time. That's Brandon Smith back there in his 11th season. He's going to see it, he's going to believe it, and he's going to jump it, and that's exactly what he does.
Monday, go!
Well, a guy, the Bo Levi Mitchell kid, doesn't catch the ball very well. Comes up with a big catch on defense. Brandon Smith, the interception, and now with under 2 minutes to go, here's the last guy left from the 2008 Grey Cup champions, still in the Calgary lineup.
Second pick of the season.
52 hot ditto. 52 hot ditto on Monday. Ready? One more. 52 hot. 52. Monday. Go. 180 hot.
How about that delivery? It was kind of a hook shot by Bo Levi Mitchell, a flag down.
Yeah, he took
and a roughing call. John Bowman's upset about that.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Montreal number 7. 15 yards out to the end of the play and first down.
Well, John Bowman, I'm not sure if he's arguing.
Might have called 97.
63, Deacon.
Barron came over the top at the end. Kind of a sidearm delivery by Mitchell. Money again to Rogers. What a first half Eric Rogers has had. That's his 6th catch.
Hey, Celtics left. Mo Vegas. Pop.
Stamps on the Alouette side of half, and
Mo.
They can add to this lead.
Red. Go hot.
Got time to take a shot, but the route broken off, and it falls incomplete. Just the second incompletion of the night. Mitchell sitting on 197 passing yards. You're hearing the speaker in the helmet.
That's Dave Dickinson talking to him.
Monday.
Second and 10.
180 hot.
Open receiver. Jordan brings it in and has a first down. A little bobble, but stayed composed and gets 15.
Double right. 61. Rinse.
Passing yardage on Calgary Stampeder quarterback.
Hey!
What was 22 doing on that?
Had to hustle to get his shoe back on.
Here we go.
Durant now.
Go hot.
The wide out far side, and look inside. That pass is incomplete. Rogers couldn't hold on to that.
The mic in the helmet of Bo Levi Mitchell is up, and we can hear Dave call the play. You're going to hear that in a second.
There it is.
Okay, so now Bo Levi calls the play.
X clean to YX right, R stack, ugly 60, Kansas, swamp, Y return, backside W.
Now you'll hear Dave. See here, Dave, a couple of extra coaching points
180
before the snap.
And that pass behind Jordan and incomplete.
And what I heard about, you know, what's happening in there, and you can hear it a little bit, is Dave Dickinson, a former quarterback, will say things like safety's low or safety's moving backside. Just little reminders.
I believe that wasn't allowed last year. It is this season.
Yeah, they leave the mics open.
And what an advantage to have that extra set of eyes on the sidelines.
And both those throws from Bo right on the money, and both dropped.
Rene Paredes now 10 for 11 on the year as he hits from 40. mourning the loss of one of their all-time greats, Larry Robinson, who was a defensive back, also a kicker. This iconic field goal into a gale force win to win the 1970 West Final at Taylor Field sent the Stampeders to the Grey Cup. Larry Robinson played from 61 to 74, 50 career interceptions, 3-time CFL West All-Star, 98 inducted into the Hall of Fame on the Wall of Fame here, and a Calgary native. Larry Robinson passed away at the age of 76 this week.
QB red Bob.
Moment of silence in his honor prior to the game. Quarterback draw for Schultz. And taken down by Jamar Wall, finished by Alex Singleton. Alouettes with 62 yards of offense.
Hey, we're taking a knee.
Boy,
hey, victory. I'm gunner. Ready?
They missed an opportunity. They're just going to get out of this and go in at halftime and regroup, but missed an opportunity to put a major on the board with that big play in the interference call.
That dominated in this first half, but had they cashed in after the pass interference call on the challenge, might have been a different first half. Stampeders heavy favorites coming in, and number 19 puts 19 on the board in the opening half. 19-1 Stamps as we head to the panel and their host, Rod Smith. Live mic in Calgary tonight, where the Stampeders have a 19-1 lead headed to the second half. First, Jermaine Franklin with Montreal Alouette head coach Mike Sherman.
Coach Sherman, it was a difficult half for your team with injuries. Is there an update on Drew Willie, and will we see Matthew Schultz to start the game?
We had some injuries, but that's not what caused the score to be what it is right now. We just haven't played well. Drew is had a big gash in his hand, and they're working on that in the training room as I speak.
What do you need to see out of your offense in order to have more production in the second half?
Well, we could have first downs, so we're not staying on the field. Defense started in the last possession to kind of slow them down a little bit. They're a very good football team, but we're not doing very much to help ourselves. We kind of shoot ourselves in the foot.
Thanks for this, Coach.
Always saw Matthew Schultz come in after Drew Willie was sidelined. I like a good hotel pen myself, and apparently the head coach does too, as he charts things on the sidelines.
Well, looks like.
All right, here we go, O. Here we go. Let's go. Let's set the tone.
See who comes out for Montreal. They get the ball first in this second half.
Set the tone for this second half. Set the tone here.
Ryder Stone back.
Right away, all right? Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. Keep fighting up there for me, baby. I got you.
Alouettes have the win.
I'm going to eliminate the mistakes. Keep working up there. Keep working
here
up
in the third quarter. Williams stand back. Also deep. And it will be stand back. And he crashes across the 30. Pretty good collision there.
Well, that might set up something for a return later. William Stanback is known. He's got his reputation from a huge hit on a defensive player from Rutgers when he was playing at UCF, and it made the ESPN top 10 list that year back. I think it was 13 or 14. And you can still see it on YouTube.
Yeah. Defensive end Gene Flaunders was on the receiving end, but gets credit for the tackle. Patrick Lavoie over the middle, and the fullback's got a first down up at the 45-yard line to kickstart this drive.
You may have heard the voice of Matthew Schultz when that return was about to happen, telling his O-line, just
here we go.
Hold up there, guys.
Here we got trips right 5, P, red W, Jack, red, ready?
He said, I'm going to eliminate mistakes.
Red.
We got to get it done. I like the way he's trying to take control of this huddle and this offense.
the left side and a good run to the 54. He has 9.
Came all the way back around to the backside of this play. Cordero Law got pinched down just a little bit too deep.
Trio.
And then couldn't fight back to get his body in a position to make the tackle on Tyrell Sutton.
F, Jack Steele, Seattle. Red, ready? Make a play,
Sutton 6 for 24.
Go! Alouettes!
Ryder Stone also in the backfield. Flag comes down. And Schultz raises his arms. This time count.
They're still switching, but they're not.
Time count violation. Montreal number 18. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Not the most costly time count violation of week 6.
No, I would say last night.
Here we go.
There.
Hey, let's go. Here we got.
Late one against the BC Lions.
Black stack, post. Black, ready?
I like it.
Schultz had the same reaction as Travis Lule. He thought they got it off.
Go!
So it's 2nd and 6 instead of 2nd and 1. We'll have to throw. Underneath, and it's a first down as he connects with Eugene Lewis.
Like the way he pushed back from the shotgun.
Spread left. Hey, Red Duke. You got Charlie. Hey, Outlaw. Red Duke.
First live action since training camp for Matthew Schultz. Hand off on the draw, and good gain there by Sutton, who takes it to the Calgary 40-yard line.
Hey, I'm expecting you to split that.
Lock in now. You're fine.
Go.
Body language. Let's go.
12 yards, and the Calgary head coach trying to ignite his defense.
Come on, we got 15. Let's go. Here we go. We got empty left. Red Dixie. Outlaw mirror. Red, ready? Go. Ready.
They go empty. Quarterback draw. And Schultz takes a pounding. Singleton first contact and a late flag. Going against the Stampeders.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Calgary number 97. 15-yard penalty. It's first down Montreal.
Wigan finished the playoff. And were they ruling he was already down?
Yeah, I would agree with the Calgary head coach Dave Dickinson on that one. He's falling through with the tackle, head up with the face mask. He's considered
not down yet. Pass to the corner, incomplete, intended for Chris Harper. But the terminology, as soon as he crosses the line of scrimmage, he doesn't get the same protection.
Yeah, he's spinning out of it. See, he didn't lead with the crown of his helmet. He almost tried to get his head out of there, and they just face mask hit. That's just following through on the tackle. That's not a penalty. Mistake made by the official there.
2nd and 10. Time over the middle. Touchdown. Schultz on target to B.J. Cunningham. 20-yard touchdown connection, and Matthew Schultz shows you something.
I like the fire in this guy's belly. I like Matthew Schultz coming in here against the #1 defense in the Canadian Football League in almost every single category, as we showed you in the first quarter, and he just starts this second half with a drive the length of the field, penalty aided, I'll give him that, but what a throw to the touchdown and to the goal line to B.J. Cunningham.
Second touchdown of the season for Cunningham. Kicking for 1.
Hey, bro, that was a dunk.
Good shit, boy. Good drive.
So it's 19-8 on the money to Cunningham. And the Alouettes start the second half on a positive note. 79-yard touchdown drive to open the second half for Montreal. And that one blasted through untouched. Will not be a single point.
Matthew Schultz hits B.J. Cunningham on a touchdown. Confident throw and a nice route run by Cunningham against two-man. There he is right there, and he's going to wrap around. He gets a man underneath him in Brandon Smith here. This is the man part of two-man. There's Brandon Smith in a trail position. He gets an inside cut there. He's got help over the top from Jameer Thurman, the linebacker, but he can't close in time because of the throw from Schultz. It was hard, confident, right between the numbers.
Stamps over the game with a 3-minute 44-second touchdown drive. In their first possession, second half, Enoch Mwamba out there tracking Don Jackson, but shaken up on the tackle. Man, he's going to have to come out for at least 3.
Safety Joe Burnett already out of the lineup. He's right in the middle of your screen, Mwamba. And he reads this immediately out there to cover Don Jackson. And somewhere in that turn and twist, he goes down.
Oh, well, Mwamba gets attention. Will step out, 19-8 Calgary. It looks like he's going to be okay. Has to come out for 3. And Kevin Haynes, newcomer to the Alouettes out of Central Washington, moves into the middle.
Monday, go.
Same school as Adam Bighill. See if he plays like Biggie. Inside it goes. And Chris Aki with the tackle, number 2 tackler in the Canadian Football League.
Behind Adam Bighill.
Yes.
Coming into this week.
Here we go. Good job. Good job, defense. Good job. That's helping effort. That's what we're talking about right there. That's what we can do. Good job. Hey, who's got nice work? Nice work. Good.
No surprise that Calgary goes and tests the middle of the run defense.
So the Alouettes get a touchdown on their first possession, get a quick stop, and get the ball back with the wind here in the third quarter. Personnel back in to return the punt. Flag comes down after a 47-yard punt. Mentioned he's from Nebraska. He will not be the highest profile punt returner for Montreal ever from Nebraska. Of course, the ordinary superstar,
return,
Johnny
holding.
Rogers.
Montreal number 15. 10-yard penalty. First down, Montreal.
From Nebraska in another era. A Heisman Trophy winner. So the penalty brings it back to the 31, but
we got
let's see if Schultz can continue the momentum he's started here.
He does for an encore in the second half, second series.
Clears it out. There's a lot of open field here for Tyrell Sutton across the 50. And Greg Singleton to near midfield.
Almost like Alex Singleton saw this play developing and he was actually pointing to get it covered.
Hey,
Jumbo. For some reason, it wasn't picked up. There's Singleton right there. Watch him point to say, hey, take him out of the backfield. Take him out there. I've got the crossing run inside. And there was no one out there to communicate with. 23-yard gain.
Already more yards generated in this third quarter than the Alouettes had in the first half. Good protection. Oh, he got belted at the end. Jabal intercepted. Emmanuel Davis brought it down at the Calgary 10. Boy, Schultz took a hit as he released it.
Well, this is a big hit. The young quarterback takes it. And I thought it was Tyler Johnstone who went over to him right afterwards and said, sorry about that one. Because it was number 60 right in there with Singleton that let him get by him. There he goes.
Like a long punt on Jackson, and there's Moama back on the field. As the defense celebrates another takeaway, their 16th of the year.
Everybody on the OBX, hey.
Way to high point it there. Nice job by Emmanuel Davis. Go up and get it. Don't wait for it to come down to you.
Doesn't have to do push-ups this time.
Monday. Go. 180. Wide hut.
2nd and 5. 6 receivers out. Crosser. And Jordan dragged down by Chip Cox, but has a first down.
Chip Cox sort of fades to the outside shoulder, which was the reason that Kamar Jordan got that inside position on him.
R on, Y slide, 63 Kansas, backside sink. On Monday, ready?
Y fly sounds like a deep route.
5 catches for Jordan in the game.
Monday, go. 180, 180 hut.
That pass behind Michelle, and he paid for it.
Kamar Jordan, I think, was the Y fly because he was wide open. Bo Levi Mitchell ends up going the opposite direction, but watch Kamar Jordan open up here. He breaks this, and right here is going, whoa.
Level left, 63 outlaw, backside goblin. 63 on Monday, ready?
Happens sometimes. Reed took Bo Levi Mitchell to the short side of the field away from that corner.
Go for his confidence and then get this movement on.
Blitzing. Ball is caught. In front of Mitchell White. Jordan does have the catch, and that's a first down. Needed 10, got 11.
Floater, rebel left. 35, R-Bob, D-Hovo. On Monday, ready? Monday, go. 180 hut.
Now Jackson left side. Nice tackle there by Aki. Number 4 in 2015. Excuse me, Terry Williams, the ball carrier. Aki, the number 4 pick in 2015, and as mentioned, now 2nd in tackles.
Some concern coming in. Bo Levi Mitchell playing on that bad knee. Didn't want to take any hits. He knew he was going to be in the pocket, and he's taken some big ones this game. And every one that he takes, his coach gets a little more nervous, especially when you got 2 or 3 in there.
Go. 180 hut.
Jackson stopped at the 52. He's going to be a yard or 2 short.
Montreal
they're going to mark him closer at the 51.
I was going to say, Chris, Montreal defense has done a pretty good job against Don Jackson tonight.
3rd and a full 2. Dave Dickinson's thinking about it. And now the punt team comes on.
Yeah, I think the short yardage game has been a challenge. I mean, they've had to really fight for those last sort of 2-3 yard to go, even if it's a 3rd down gamble. Montreal's defense has just talked them out of it.
This is an area where if you've got something on, or if you have something in your bag of tricks, you try it here, but Maver boots it away. Personnel dropped by McManus after a 49-yard punt. 7 on the return. Just over 4.5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. B.J. Cunningham with a touchdown for the Alouettes as they close the gap to 11. Alouettes debuting a couple of new tackles tonight. Tyler Johnson second-team All-American, comes from Oregon, and was acquired in the supplemental draft. The Alouettes giving up a first-rounder next year. And Natai Rogers, son of Tyrone Rogers, former Canadian Football League defensive lineman. Well, Seattle Seahawks.
As dominant as we've seen Jagarrett Davis, Cordero Wall, Micah Johnson in other games.
Yeah. Three-man rush here. Screen it to the fullback. And he gets pulled down. There's another play by Winton McManus in a weak side linebacker.
I'd say those two tackles are playing pretty well. And Johnson did go back on that last series to Matthew Schultz and apologize for letting.
Here we go. We got spread right. Spread right. Spread right. Red scat toast. Red. Ready?
Allowing Alex Singleton to put the hit on him.
That's known an Outland Trophy winner as the top lineman in college football. Second and 5. Pressure from Thurman. Got it away, and it's Sutton running into Singleton.
Good tackle.
And he'll stop him short of the first down.
Well, that's a great tackle in the open field. Alex Singleton makes this look easy. It's not. I mean, that's Singleton right there. He's got to fly outside, and when he does, he's tracking Tyrell Sutton out of the backfield. So he's got him, but there's space now. Sutton has made a lot of guys miss in the open field like that. Not 49, not that time. Great tackle.
Sixth tackle of the game for the all-star middle linebacker, and Alouettes are going to go for it on third and a full yard. And maybe a little bit more. Keeper for Schultz. Trouble, and he is dropped. Not going anywhere against Jagarrett Davis. Turnover on downs, an unsuccessful gamble. Davis showing you his quickness off the edge.
Call. There's Jagarrett Davis. Watch him make the redirect here. They're supposed to basically leave him unblocked because they expect Montreal that Jagarrett Davis will go with the play fake here to Tyrell Sutton. He does for a step, but then can redirect. And I wonder about at that point, in that deep in their own end, it was a good yard, maybe yard and a half. The aggressiveness to go for it, you admire, but I'll tell you what, that's an interesting call. Put him in trouble.
And the Stampeders now plus 12 in the giveaway takeaway ratio.
We're here, Crockett, Texas. We're here 936. I know we got BA in the crib, Atlanta, Georgia, GA. We all in here. Texas, where y'all at? Mama, I love you. Baby girl Lily, you know we here. I'm playing for you all day.
He doesn't need his own mic.
Monday. Go. 180. Wide hut.
Stamps take over the red zone. Quickly to Rogers. Cuts back, and Dupree just got enough of him to bring him down at the 10. Otherwise, Rogers scores.
And I'm not second-guessing the call. Second-guessing is not right, not fair, but you saw my reaction when they were coming out to gamble on third and a long yard or a yard and a half at this point in the field. Just didn't like it before. Calgary scores here. Basically, the game is come down to here where you can get to 11 points into the fourth quarter on the road against the best team in the league. That call will be second-guessed throughout the week, guaranteed.
I wonder whether they thought, we've got the win, we got to use it. At the other end of the argument, you got the win to punt and maybe drive them back a little further, but
that was deep in their own end.
Yep.
180. Wide hut.
That one past Daniels.
It's cover
as
zero.
He turned to look.
Yeah.
That's a great, I'm not sure if you heard that, folks, but what Bo Levi Mitchell did coming out of there is said that was cover zero. Cover zero means there's no safety. They're coming on a blitz. A full blitz.
Rebel left, R stack, 61 dent, reptile, backside GNT swing. On Monday, ready?
Full blitz means that the receivers got to get their head around quickly. Tavares Daniels didn't do that.
Monday. Go.
Oh, second and goal. Pointer. Caught. Where are they going to spot him? They're going to spot him at the 1. Fireworks going off. Jordan thinks he scored. And they'll take a look at it. And did he have a foot down before with control?
Yeah, you got to make the call. Come on, bro.
See, that might even be incomplete by the time he got control.
An incomplete pass, yeah. Because I'm not sure he had control when he put his foot on the white stripe there.
At the point he first touched it, it could have been a touchdown breaking the plane, but the bobble and...
What's that? Automatically reviewed, by the way, whether it's ruled a touchdown or not. That's new this year.
Well, they haven't stopped them. They're going to...
Well, it looks like it was good. They're going to go with the... Wait.
Now they're going to stop
Now they're stopping it. Now they're looking at it.
Last play is under review by the command center.
Dave Dickinson doesn't like it, but
well, this is a new rule this year. That remember last year that if it was ruled a touchdown there, every touchdown is reviewed. They changed that this year in Rules Committee to say that any touchdown or close. So anyone that's ruled at the goal line, even if it's ruled not a touchdown, which this was, they're going to automatically review that.
There's no challenge though, Dave.
There's no challenge here. This is a automatic review. There you go.
And this is a good rule.
After review by the command center, it's an incomplete pass. It's third down at the 7.5-yard line.
It's the right call, and I like the fact that they don't need a challenge to determine A, whether it was a scoring play, or B, whether it was a catch.
And it's not just a review on a ruled score. It's a review on anything close to the goal line.
Score.
Potential score as well. That's right. That's the change.
Well, they've got to settle for this 15-yard field goal attempt. Turnover on downs may not be as costly as it first looked. And it's 22-8, 14-point lead. Let's go to the sidelines. Here's Jermaine.
Thanks, CC. Well, you know, we've heard the keys to hard work plenty of times. First in the gym, last to leave, respect your opponent, all different keys to success. Well, Bo Levi Mitchell let us in on a secret. Another key to the Stamp success? Ellie Mitchell, his baby girl. Yes, Ellie accompanied the team to its very first preseason game meal this year. And of course, they won that game. And of course, his teammates said she better be coming to the pregame meals from now on. And of course, the Stampeders are undefeated. Now, Ellie basically stole the show, high-fiving all the players as well as the staff during that pregame meal. Bo Levi Mitchell said that obviously she's the apple of his eye, and she is the team's lucky charm.
Ellie unbeaten, trying to go to 5-0.
Hey, Craps to the left. Craps.
Going over that last play with Kamar Jordan. Second and short yardage. And Sutton runs into a wall. Had to get to the 45. And it looks like it's going to be third down again. This time it'll be less than a yard. It'll be third and about a half yard, but after just being stopped, he's got a little to mull over here as they switch ends.
And close to midfield. It's a little different field position, too.
So the final play of the third quarter, better quarter for the visitors, including that touchdown pass from Schultz to Cunningham. And after 3 quarters, it's 22-8, Calgary.
Defense in the league, and he's done some nice things. I like the sense of urgency in his voice. I think he's commanded the huddle well, and you know, this is a young kid that's been thrown in the fire, and he's playing pretty well against this Calgary D.
One thing you can't do is beat Calgary when you're turning the ball over as much as they have. 3 turnovers tonight, a couple of interceptions, the turnover on downs, and well, it's 3rd and less than a yard this time.
Well, this one I like it, and we won't second guess or first guess. This one I like the gamble.
Yep.
Go ahead on the field position and the distance. The last one didn't at all.
It is almost a full yard, and they drop the snap, and they're not going to get this one either.
But you can't second guess the call. Not this time.
I was not down.
Just the execution.
This time it's the execution.
Now Schultz arguing that was he touched down as he scrambled there desperately, and is he touched and down at any point? Looks like yes.
Well, wait.
Brandon Smith got his hands on him,
but
was he back up?
I'm not sure he wasn't back up when he touched him down. So now the ball's loose, hasn't been touched.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
Has not been touched, gets up. Has he touched his ankle?
But is his
butt off the ground?
Butt off the ground? This will be interesting.
It is interesting.
Botched play, but some second and third effort.
Well, maybe this angle will help. There was no touch until there. And I'm not sure his backside wasn't off the ground at that point. One more time at that low look here. He's still down there.
Roll forward. What? Roll forward with a first.
No touch. Touch up now. And he's butts off
After
the ground.
review, it's first down Calgary.
Now they're rolling. They did touch him down.
But the other aspect of that we weren't looking at, we're just looking at whether he was down by contact on that touch, was where the ball ended up.
He actually crashed across the 45, but they ruled that he was touched down before
38 off your backside
that last surge.
Remember, you have to see it to overturn it. And I'm not sure you could really see that hand and make sure you knew exactly when it was touched on the calf.
Another takeaway. Jackson looked like he was going to lose yards. Does, but not as bad as it looked. Taekwon Glass moved up. And Jesse Joseph finished off Jackson for a loss.
I think this may be the best defensive effort I've seen from the Alouettes all year. I mean, we haven't covered every Alouette game, but this is their strongest performance, I think.
But they are run by Rich Stubler, and I know you like the personnel. Maybe taking a while to really digest what this Stubler match coverage defense is all about.
You know what it means?
Maybe offside here. And Mitchell looking for Daniels. Got it. No. Dropped it inside the 5. Would have been a sensational catch.
Was there an offsides or procedures?
Offside, Montreal number 91. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That was Joseph who beat the snap.
I was about to say, Chris, talking about that Montreal defense and how it's been their strongest performance, even though they're down. You know exactly what that means as soon as we say it. They give up a big play, and they almost did to Daniels. There's the offsides. Get another chance to convert here on second and medium.
Go. 180.
Second and 7. Low delivery, dug out there by Rogers. And a first down, Calgary. Eric Rogers goes over 100.
I know, but a little bit.
That's a great catch.
Targeted 10 times tonight, 8 catches, 105 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. To the call. Monday, go. Wide 80. Wide hut.
Jackson. Moamba.
Hey.
And Jackson dropped for a loss for his second straight touch.
Dinwiddie.
5th tackle of the game for Enoch Moamba.
Terry Williams comes in for Don Jackson on this second down, 2nd and long.
Bomber 64, Ontario. That's Alexander. On Monday, ready? Hey, run. Monday. Hey, KJ, go. 180. 180 hut.
2nd and 10. Flag down. Calgary may be offside. Another shot for Daniels, and it's intercepted. That's Tommy Campbell who comes up with it. The old Stampeder. Tested, but comes up with a football.
See what this flag is.
Offside, Calgary number 15. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is an interception.
Yeah, Rogers
First down,
offside.
Montreal at the 25-yard line.
With his first interception for his new team, and it comes against his old team as he outfights Daniels for the football.
First step for Tommy Campbell here. I mean, this is a team and an offense he's familiar with, a quarterback he's familiar with. That's the first interception Bo Levi Mitchell has thrown against the Montreal Alouettes.
Last team to get him.
And it's his old teammate.
Tommy Campbell had 5 in 2 years here. All CFL in his first year, draw play, and Sutton up to the 30. Let's check in with Jermaine.
Thanks, CC. Yeah, Joe Burnett suffered an ankle injury in the first half. He went for x-rays. Jabbar Westerman also suffered a left arm injury of the Alouettes. He is being reevaluated, but looks doubtful to return.
After that, 6 for 12 on second down conversions. They stay on the ground this time and are going to be stopped short. And it's 3rd and a couple, and I'm guessing the Alouettes don't try it a 3rd time. On 3rd down.
No, they're going to kick it away here. I'm a little surprised on that play call on 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 to run against this Calgary defense is awful difficult.
3rd 2 and out of the game for the Alouettes.
Of the Alouettes who've been injured, though, Enoch Moamba is back. Saw that in the last series.
Beatty, pretty good kick. Williams back at his 27, 50-yard boot. And Williams with a good return. Finally wrestled out at about the 40. Bo Levi Mitchell, 258 yards passing. Couple of touchdowns. But his last throw was picked off. He'll try to bounce back when we come back. Well, Mike Sherman adapting to a new league.
A great resume he has,
credentials,
though. Absolutely. You take a look at the years where he was the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, working with Brett Favre at that time, but he's been an offensive coordinator, coached some great football players. I got a chance to sit with him before the game, talk a little coverage and how you might attack Bo Levi Mitchell. Great football man, top to bottom.
Alouettes hanging around here. Oh, there's a broken tackle. Nice hustle there for Mark and Michelle.
And you know, he's building. I mean, no matter how this game ends up.
You got one-on-one with everybody else, and 5 guys got to hold up.
Going to mark it back at the 46.
I'd rather push it, double, you know, you at least get a double team on the nose or come down on the three.
On the headset with Rich Stubler upstairs. Second down, flag down, deep shot, and incomplete. Jordan closest to the football.
Offside, Calgary number 15. Penalty is declined. It's third down.
Rogers a couple times been called for offside. And it's the third 2 and out of the game for the Stampeders. And you don't get 3 offsides in a game, apparently. Even if you've already got 100 yards plus in the game. There's DeMornay Pearsonell on the return.
Want to do a little fly fishing?
George Cortez spent some time with Mike Sherman. In one of the instructional leagues in the offseason. And George was talking about the best fly fishing hole he's ever been at is not too far from here. And he only knows because John Huffnagel knows exactly where the best fly fishing
Mike Sherman knew John Huffnagel from his time in the NFL. I mean, it's a small circle when you're in the football circle. Oh, man.
Somewhere around there.
Right in that area, right up in the corner, I think. Looks like a nice spot right in there.
That is the first fly fishing telestrator ever. Matthew Schultz scrambling and dropped. And you heard that contact with the ground.
You know, and this is no slight to Drew Willie. Drew Willie's got some opportunities. Hurt himself. Hurt his hand. His passing hand early in this game didn't come back. But the Montreal Alouettes have got to figure out who's going to be their quarterback moving forward. That's their question. I think this team is improving. They're improving in a lot of different areas. Played pretty well on defense all night long. And I'm not suggesting that you throw Drew Willie out or anything like that. I think Matthew Schultz has shown some things, but the Montreal Alouettes have not been able to find a quarterback since Anthony Calvillo, and that's 13 quarterbacks ago.
Terry Williams stuck Krasacki there, and this Alouette team has competed here. Midway through the fourth quarter. TSN 4 and
on Monday,
on CTV.
Monday, go! 180, wide hut.
Stampeders start at their 48. Don Jackson sliced down. Najee Murray with the tackle. There's a familiar face in a different place. Providing analysis on Montreal radio along with Rick Moffitt tonight is Ben Cahoon. Good to see him prior to the game.
Absolutely. No longer coaching, but not ruling it out as something that he may look at in the future.
I think he might have something to offer to young Canadian Football League receivers. Second and long, Jackson out of the flat, and Chris Aki, boy, he has really come into his own.
Absolutely, and this defense has too. It made some adjustments in the second half. I mean, Bo Levi Mitchell started the game 12 for 12. Then he had 2 drops at 15 for 17 early on. Since then, he's gone 6 for 13. And the Alouettes have got that offense off the field and given Matthew Schultz some opportunities here.
Favor to boot. DeMornay Pearsonell is back. One to the far side, and Pearsonell tried to field it on the fly and unable to take it cleanly. A 46-yarder into the corner inside the 10, so another one for Rob Maver.
So I'm not sure if Matthew Schultz is the answer just yet out of Butler. They like him. They liked him out of camp, liked him and thought he'd get more playing time before this point, but he got hurt. But at some point, the Alouettes have got to give a young guy an opportunity to just settle in, go through some highs and lows, some ups and downs. So I'm wondering if Mike Sherman may have his guy in Schultz and give him some opportunities in the next 3-4 games. They've got to find a guy to solidify that position.
On a long field, down by a couple of touchdowns. Going to stretch it out here and overthrows the intended target, Chris Harper.
Now they have Vernon Adams, so that's possibly another option, but there's another guy who's had a few opportunities in the league already, as had Drew Willie. So, you know, maybe it's give Matthew Schultz a couple of games. See if he can become your starter.
Jeff Matthews started last week, injured and on the 6th game with a foot injury.
Go! Black 80!
Second and 10.
Black 80!
Here comes the pressure, but he launches this deep, and Eugene Lewis unable to bring it down. Step for step was Emmanuel Davis.
Yeah, great coverage on that play. But again, Matthew Schultz showed he's got a big arm too. I mean, those were 2 deep throws that he let go. He doesn't, you know, I mean, I've liked his leadership in the huddle, how he's called some plays. We've listened in on that. He's run pretty effectively at times in this game. This is the #1 defense in the league again. I know there's people going, wait a minute, they're down 22-8, they're in their own end, they're kicking out of their end. What's been so impressive? But when you think of the underdog status they had coming in tonight, a lot of people were saying it's the Globetrotters against the Washington Capitals, or Generals, or whoever they are.
Let Beatty kick it away. And Williams will scramble back. Great field position for Calgary at the 43-yard line. Second Jewel in the OLG Canadian Triple Crown comes your way Tuesday. It's the 83rd running of the Prince of Wales Stakes. It's the Action 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN. Canadian Triple Crown broadcast brought to you by OLG.
F flag, backside, W tunnel left. On Monday, ready? Monday, go! 180, wide height.
The screen here inside, and Daniels takes it down to the 30, a first down. 12-yard pickup for Devaris Daniels, his 3rd catch of the night.
Now, having said all that about Montreal tonight, this is still
Rebel left, W tornado, 31 plunge, R sub. On Monday, ready?
last 20 games at home, 19-1.
Monday.
His win-loss record off the hook great.
Any way you slice it.
At every level, he's played it. Playing on a leg and a half here tonight, and has taken some hits, took some hits early on, and had the defense make some adjustments, make some plays. He did have 3 or 4 drops here tonight, too, from his receivers, but
hit the 3-minute warning. Calgary in scoring position, up by 14.
For the first part of the season.
Go! 180!
8 stamps. Mitchell throws. Ball is caught. Rogers has another catch.
In the first half, by the way, and this is really unofficial, we were tracking how quickly Bo Levi Mitchell throws the football from the time it's snapped to the time he lets go of it. Averaged out at 2.26 seconds. 2.26 seconds.
So he knows where he's going.
He knows exactly where he's going, and you don't have to block the guys up front if he's going to throw it that quickly.
Got that out of his hands probably quicker than 2.26. And a catch for the fullback, William Longley, just his 2nd catch of the year. And 8 more.
I mean, Chris, it takes about a second for the ball to get from the center back to his hands. And we're tracking it from the moment it snaps. So
30, plunge force, W sub. On Monday, ready?
That's 2 things, though. It's recognition, yes. knowing his playbook in and out. But
Monday, go.
Just a naturally athletic, gifted, quick release.
Jackson, boy, he's been shut down. Enoch Mwamba. And that's tackle number 8 for the middle linebacker of the Alouettes.
Yeah, he is getting to it quick, isn't he? I mean, this guy is, he told me before the game, said, I'm going to just go. I'm not going to wait and try and read too much, because if you give Don Jackson room to move, room to maneuver, you got to close the hole quickly, and he's done that all night.
I'll use my time.
He said yesterday, we're moving in the right direction, and I think despite the score, you're seeing evidence that there are some positives for the Alouettes.
Jackson, 17 carries, 46 yards, under 50 yards tonight.
So Paredes with the field goal, 25-8. And the Calgary Stampeders about to polish off yet another 5-0 start. And that usually means
Grey Cup appearance.
A trip to the Grey Cup.
John, good job.
Now this is the best team in the league, and I know that's not going out on a limb to say when you're 5-0. And
good job coming back.
And there's the architect, who's already inking in the 5-0 with 1:34 to go.
Looking at another victory and another win at home, and another chance on the day off to possibly go fly fish.
Yeah. And he's probably undefeated in that category too. And the Stampeders 1:34 away from the 3rd time in 5 games allowing single digits for the opposition.
Come on, go finish, guys.
Amazing, isn't it?
I mean, that's over. Let's go.
That's record-breaking pace.
Keep the top on, you're fine.
To be under 10 points. They were 9.5 coming in. They're under that tonight.
Pretty impressive. Ryder Stone on the return. And he'll bring it back across the 35. Just to give you an example, the record 10.5 points per game allowed for a season. The 64 Lions, the 65 Ticats with John Barrow and Angelo Mosca, 10.9. This team, through 5 games anyway, under Devon Claybrook's leadership, a guy, by the way, who interviewed for the Alouette job and then decided to stay in Calgary, is in single digits in the first month plus of the season. Schultz. And a feet first slide up near the first down.
Hey, spread right, spread right. Black jet, mayday. Spread right, black jet, cat, cat, cat. Black jet, cat, black. Alouettes, Alouettes, tuck.
And a crosser to Cunningham, and he gets, I was going to say leveled, but that's Patrick levels.
Spread left, spread left.
Well,
along with Alex Singleton.
That was Blackjack Cat.
Black jet,
run.
Arrow gas.
Now we got Arrow Gas coming up. See what that play can produce. Arrow Gas, quick out. My favorite play tonight has been Corona. It was Corona 51.
And in the final minute, I know why that's on your mind.
Spread left. Hey, black jet. Arrow. Arrow.
Every one of these reps valuable for a young quarterback.
Yeah,
though.
absolutely.
Arrow.
Lots to like about it.
Long out, Harper loose. And he'll step out, stop the clock, levels with a bump at the 43.
Well, that was a great read, and the correct throw and timing to throw to the wide side out. That was a zone defense that Calgary dropped off, so that's the dead spot in the zone.
Red right.
See how open Harper was, but it's a
red right. Red
tough
right.
throw to complete at times.
Buck Seattle, red, ready? Red jet, red jet. Go! Ready! Ready, shot!
3-man rush. Underneath. And Stand-back made Singleton miss and has a first down. First catch for William Stand-back.
Hey, red houseboat. Hey, Hash. Start. All right, start. Red houseboat. Red houseboat.
Schultz now 15 of 23, 152 yards.
Sorry.
In trouble, gets it away. Ryder Stone brought down by Singleton, but Schultz avoids the sack and keeps the drive going.
Spread left.
Couple dozen seconds to go.
Hey, spread left. Black jet. Black jet. Connie. Henry. Black jet.
2nd and 2.
Alouettes. Sorry.
Sidelines, incomplete. Another 3rd down. You know they're going for it.
Yeah.
Can they have a little more success? One of the reasons they trail in the game is 3rd down efficiency tonight.
Spread left. Red jet.
I think for Calgary fans, that shot of Bo Levi Mitchell getting through the game without any further injury to his knee is important. And a late score here would be important for a young quarterback.
Schultz in trouble, and he is dropped. And another 3rd down is foiled. Gene Fodders with the sack. And the defense will keep the Alouettes in single digits tonight. I think Schultz realizes that was 3rd down.
Yeah, he wants to play safety.
Time for the Nissan Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
You know, he started the game completing 12 of his first 12 passes, including a couple of big ones to Eric Rogers. Rogers had over 100 yards, so he's our honorable mention. But Bo had very limited mobility tonight, and he still was very efficient when he had to be to get the lead. Montreal made some adjustments, but it's Bo Levi Mitchell tonight.
And in victory formation now. Stamps to 5-0. And Saskatchewan next up for them. Alouettes will drop to 1-4 with Edmonton upcoming. The roll continues. And Bo Levi Mitchell with 292 passing yards on the night and a pair of touchdowns. High-powered offense and a stingy, dominating defense. Too much for the Alouettes tonight. On Nick Lewis night and McMahon. That's the story here from Calgary tonight. So long, everybody. SportsCenter coming your way right now.